Russian airports continue to close their airspace due to drone attacks on the eve of May 9. Due to threats of UAV attacks in Moscow, mass flight delays. 10 flights were cancelled in Sheremetyevo, 24 flights were delayed and cancelled in Nukovo. People cannot fly to Domodedovo for more than 33 hours. Now the danger of drones is preserved only in the Ryazan region. Earlier, the air traffic restrictions affected 60,000 passengers, according to the Association of Tour Operators of Russia. Ukrainian drone raids on Russian regions before May 9 caused a number of flight delays and cancellations for Russian airlines. The Defense Ministry reported 524 drones shot down in 24 hours. This is the largest drone attack by the Ukrainian armed forces in the entire war. Mobile communications were cut off in more than 30 regions, and Rosaviatsia suspended airport operations in at least 10 cities. This affected about 350 flights, according to calculations by the Association of Tour Operators of Russia. Problems with cellular communications in Moscow are related to ensuring the safety of the ongoing festive events, a representative of the Unified State System for the Prevention and Elimination of Emergencies said on May 5. The authorities warned that the disruptions could last until May 9 inclusive. The suspension of airport operations in Moscow has caused a transport collapse. At the same time, residents of Moscow and the Moscow region have faced a wave of failures in the operation of mobile networks and service applications. They cannot order food, call a taxi or use banking applications. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov called for understanding of the problems with the internet and said that they could last until May 10. City authorities have also imposed restrictions on the operation of taxis, car sharing, scooter and bicycle rental services. Russians have been stranded in an airplane flying from Sochi to Moscow for around 10 hours after work of airports was disrupted following Ukrainian drone strikes on Moscow on Wednesday morning. A video circulated in Facebook of DA's channel shows passengers in Sochi-Moscow airplane waiting impatiently to be landed. One of the passengers said the airplane turned around from Moscow after flying for 5 hours and flew to St. Petersburg City. The duration of the flight was supposed to be 3.5 hours. The passengers are seen arguing with the stewardess in the plane. One of the passengers is said to have health problems. The pilot can be heard telling passengers that the plane was waiting in a queue as the St. Petersburg airport was overcrowded after the closure of Moscow's airspace. The pilot said 10 more airplanes were waiting to be allowed landing. The pilot asked the passengers to be patient. Earlier, it was reported that Russia's flag carrier Aeroflot cancelled 52 flights from Moscow and 54 to the capital on Wednesday following Ukrainian attacks. In addition, Ural Airlines cancelled 18 flights. Pobeda and S7 Airlines have also announced the cancellation of some flights on May 6 and 7. Attacks were reported on a number of military and defense facilities across Russia on May 7 morning.
В это сложно поверить, но мы находимся в салоне самолета уже практически 10 часов. Хотя продолжительность полета должна была составить 3,5 часа. То есть вылет 19:05, рейс 11:33, Сочи, Москва. А на данный момент 5 часов утра, уже начало 6-го, мы до сих пор в салоне самолета. Какой-то просто бред. Там же кому-то плохо стало. Ну, я все понимаю, там операция «Ковер» или как это называется. В общем, нас развернули из Москвы, мы там кружили 40 минут над аэропортом. В итоге нас развернули, и мы полетели в Питер. Прилетели в Питер в час с небольшим. Сейчас время начало 6-го, мы до сих пор в самолете. Что происходит вообще? Вопросов к стюардессам нет. И вообще к экипажу однозначно вопросы к руководству, почему нас тут держат. Народ уже начинает возмущаться. Это реально держат как заложник. А флот впервые сильно удивляет, неприятно удивляет. Можно было вывести нас, ну понятно, там 10, ну пусть там 15-20 рейсов развернули, отправили в Питер. Неужели за это время нельзя было всех выпустить? Ну, и хоть какие-то меры предпринять. Непонятно. Надеюсь, там с человеком все в порядке.
С закрытием полностью московской зоны аэропорт Санкт-Петербург принял больше воздушных судов, чем может обслужить. На данный момент мы стоим в очереди на высаживание пассажиров. Мы стоим в очереди, как и все, где порядка 20-30 самолетов. Пришлось оставаться на своих местах и сохранять спокойствие. Спасибо за внимание.
Даже командир корабля понимает, что несет какую-то херню полную. 20-30 бортов не могут разгрузить 5 часов. Что происходит вообще?
Ukraine's unmanned systems forces have disrupted the work of aerial bombs production enterprise Basalt in Moscow region, Ukrainian telegram channels reported on Wednesday. Basalt in Krasnoarmeysk is one of the leading defense enterprises in Russia, specializing in the development and production of ammunition for various types of armed forces. The branch in Krasnoarmeysk, Moscow region, is an important scientific and production division of the company. It is engaged in the creation and testing of modern weapons. The reported attack on Basalt Enterprise follows large-scale Ukrainian drone attacks on Russia on Wednesday morning. The Ukrainian drone attacks caused explosions, disrupted the work of airports and resulted in the cancellations of dozens of flights in capital Moscow. The attacks come ahead of the military parade to commemorate the anniversary of Soviet Union's victory of Nazi Germany. Earlier, President Vladimir Putin announced a 3-day truce from May 7 to May 9 due to the parade to be held in Moscow. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Kyiv cannot guarantee the safety of foreign delegations visiting Moscow to attend the parade.
А вообще какой огонь горит в домище. Да, я сторону Химаши, я поэтому тебе звоню, что я не там была. А вообще какой огонь горит в домище. Да, я сторону Химаши, я поэтому тебе звоню, что я не там была.
Блядь.
Ой, машина едет.
Все хорошо.